Ready?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. That is a 4-letter word. There's been a lot of things that we've had to wait for, and some of the things have happened and some have not, and we're still waiting. But we've learned many times that God's timing is very different than ours. And with faith also comes waiting.
Just over 12 years ago, we joined our lives in marriage. One of the many things we were excited about was being parents. We've been trying to have kids and we've been waiting. Adoption is not a new topic of conversation for us. We've been talking about the possibility of adoption since we got married.
In 2007, I was a part of a team with my church, and we went down for a 9-day mission trip in Lima, Peru. And the majority of that trip was spent with the local kids that the church had been reaching out to. And there were a lot of kids. And it was this experience where God really started to capture my heart about the whole idea of adoption. So I saw a need with these kids. Many were from a broken homes. Some we didn't even know if they had homes. And I wanted to pack them all up and put them in my suitcase and bring them all home.
Well, he didn't actually pack up any kids, but he did come home with a calling to adopt. Since 2007, we've been casually learning about the adoption process. We've become friends with many families who have adopted, and we've been moved by the stories that we've heard. We've been praying for God's timing.
So at the beginning of this year, of 2014, we put together a 2-part plan. So we own a small business, and we're actually sitting in our business office right now. And part 1 of that was to bring on a full-time employee to help us grow our business. And then part 2 would be, once that employee is in place and we start to see an increase in our business, would be then to start the adoption process. So basically our plan was to hire the person in 2014 and then start the adoption process in 2015.
We covered our goals in a lot of prayer. We quickly found the right person for the job, and in August we hired Andrew. Andrew has already made a huge impact on the business, and God has opened up some amazing doors. So now we wait for part 2 of our plan next year, right?
Right, but again, God's timing is very different than ours. So our plan was to give the business some time to grow, and then next year, 2015, contact an agency and start the domestic adoption process, and then wait. Well, on September 20th, I received a phone call from a friend, and he asked a very interesting question. He said, "A family member of mine is having a baby who's due in February. Do you want to adopt it?"
Dan took the call when we were driving down the highway. He did everything he could not to lose control of the car because of the crazy news. Well, we spent the next few days praying about this opportunity and came to a pretty clear decision that this is what we've been praying for and waiting for a long, long time. So we thought we would start the process in 2015 and maybe have a child a year or 2 later, but God's timing was different.
So we've met with this very brave and courageous woman who has decided to allow us to adopt her baby. And she is due February 10th. And we have a very small window to complete the adoption process. So we're required by state and federal law to work with an adoption service. So we've started working with a really, really great agency who's going to help us expedite this whole thing. So as we move into this exciting journey, we're going to need your support. And there's really 2 ways that you can help.
The first way is prayer. There's a link on the page that you can click to join our prayer list. We need a team of prayer warriors to surround us as we move down this emotional and exciting path.
And the second is financial support. Adoption is very expensive, and after all the fees and everything else are added up, we're looking at about $15,000. And also because we're moving into this so quickly, that means the fees are going to be due very soon. So we'd ask that you would prayerfully consider a one-time donation that's comfortable for you. And we're not a nonprofit, so this wouldn't be a tax-deductible thing. So if you're interested in helping offset our costs, you can donate here on this page.
We want to thank everyone who's been a part of our journey so far. Thank you for the prayers and encouragement. Thank you to the adoptive families who have shared your stories with us. And thank you to the courageous ladies who have given up a child before for their willingness to share their experience with us.
So please stay tuned and follow our journey. Waiting can be extremely hard, but God always comes through at the right time. Thank you so much. Wait. That is a 4-lettered word. 4-lettered? Lettered? Letter. Take 2. There's been a lot of things that we've been waiting for. Was that weird that I looked at you? Doggone it! Maybe I didn't pray hard enough. Okay, ready? Seriously.
I was so close. Can I put my elbow here? Is it okay? Andrew,
Hold on.
insert
We're gonna have to
Andrew.
tighten it up. We're gonna have to tighten it up.
Okay.
Ah!
Right.
My job is to look at you and I laugh every time.
So we'd ask that you would. It's custom. Please stay tuned and follow our journey.